Shalom. Assalamu alaikum, my friends. Peace be with you. What is the Imam Mahdi's thoughts on hijab and burqa? Okay, I'll tell you what I think of them. Including the beard. I'll tell you what I think. All right, so let's get into the understanding first of all. For the Muslim women, you wearing hijab based upon Fatima. Well, first of all, Fatima was not even married to any man when she started to don the hijab to begin with. All Muslim scholars are liars when they tell you to wear a hijab because of a man. Even my grandmother Fatima was not even married. But she donned it on. And she donned it because out of respect to God. And she was a prophet's daughter. So in being a prophet's daughter, and even Miriam was of the Levitical family, where her uncle was a prophet as well and a priest. So most of the time, the women that wore those type of garbs either worked in the temple or they were the daughters of priests and so on and so forth. So they were always basically in the temple to begin with. So because God is supposed to be, you know, that is a place where God is supposed to be. He's not really there, but that is your understanding as a human flesh. God is in these places where you go to pray. So you don these things out of respect to God, not man and not one another. And you can't go around pointing the finger at women who don't wear it as if you are better than them, because everybody is a sinner. You're not God. You can't condemn people based upon sin or any other action. You can only control your own self and just give advice, but you can't force advice. You can only give advice. And advice meaning, hey, it's not good that you should drink so much and become drunken. It's not good that you should smoke cigarettes. It's not good that you should be gay. You can say these things as advice, but you cannot force anybody into these things. You can only control that which is the land of the people, which is the assembly of the people, by banning such a action as making it public where it's acceptable, when things like this are not. Like smoking cigarettes in restaurants, we finally figured, no, it's not acceptable because those who don't want to smoke should not have to inhale. Right? So we understand that there is measure in judgment and proper contexts of things. So for the girls that, with the hijab thing, is I don't really care whether you wear it or not, and nor should you. And I don't think that it should be a required thing to force upon a woman to cover herself when, first of all, that is not what hijab is. And half of the women in the world are not prophets' daughters, nor do they wear or do they work in a temple or masjid or a church. As you take, for instance, in the Christian world, they have nuns. Nuns wear it. Why do nuns wear theirs? Is because they work at a church, man, right? And they don't wear it all the time. And the other thing is you find these radical ideologies about these coverings. You find it in every religion, but it's a radical form. Even in the Jews, the Hasidic Jews, they make their women do this nonsense. And to me, it's sexually weird. You're creating a sexually weird thing upon people, and the hijab for Fatima and Miriam, with their, you know, the name Mary, Jesus' mother, they did not wear it for a sexual connotation. It was all for respect to God. That was it. So, should a woman wear hijab? Well, it depends on whether you want to be close, how you feel, not whether you want to be, how you feel, if it brings you closer to God, or you have an understanding like, oh, I want to wear it because I think God likes it upon me and this and that. Understand that you will get looks, of course, and you should not be trying to make it as a fashion statement. You should not be trying to, because, you know, you see the Kardashian girls and all their dumb shit, trying to make things as a fashion statement. It's stupid. That's more spreading of radical Islam around the world. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And you should not be forcing anything that is a non-acceptable practice, because God don't care whether you... He created you anyway, naked and with hair. He did not make you born in a hijab. Therefore, it is not something that God intended from the beginning that you should be doing. Okay? Anything that God does, like when he put clothes upon your nakedness, part of your breast or your private area, is because God did that. And he did it for a reason. But he didn't make a hijab. He didn't say cover your hair. And in fact, he gave women long hair because that was the glory of a woman. So to add to the glory of yourself and try to promote yourself as being more gloriful than some other girl. Oh, look at that girl not in hijab. Boo-hoo-hoo. Now you're trying to overly make yourself more glorious than someone else. Now you're a sinner. Now you're practicing shirk in that manner. Now you're foul and dirty. You're more najis now. So that is my take on hijab, burqa, and all these type of things. And that is the true meaning of all of those practices. And you find, like I say, you find it in all three of the serpents who hate Jesus, hate the king, condemn the king, crucify the king. So you got the Jews, the Christians, the Muslims, and all of them have that kind of practice within their religion. Not all of the religion, just the radical aspect of their shirk shit. Now, to the beard... Should a man wear a beard? Well, what did Muhammad say? He said, leave it alone. And leave it alone does not mean to shave it or not shave it. No, he said, leave it alone, meaning in the common understanding of all human living aspect of our lives, there are some people who don't even grow a beard. Races that can't even grow. For me, I can barely grow anything on the side of my face. Here, I can grow it nice and thick and make it long if I want. But for some reason, because I am Native American, this does not want to grow in very well. You can see it for yourself. And I don't shave it, it just doesn't grow. Could you imagine if I was full-blooded Asian or full-blooded Indian, where they are mostly smooth skin? You condemning what God created based upon your religious shirk? How dare you? How dare you, Muslim, do such a thing? How dare teachers, imams, ayatollahs, mullahs, or any of you, how dare you condemn that which God has created from the beginning? You understand what I'm saying? So that's my take on the thing. And anybody else who goes against what I say, a fatwa upon them, because I'm the one who declares fatwa, not anyone else. And when I declare a fatwa, I'm doing it in a righteous, just, measured manner of properness. So if you want to have a beard, hey, go ahead, grow one. It doesn't make you any holier than another man. If your wife likes you with a beard, and that's what she wants you, and you like that, and you get along in that manner, go ahead. If your wife wants to wear a hijab and you think that it's okay for her to wear a hijab, then go ahead. But don't force what is between the two of you upon anyone else. Ever. Radical. Radical. So, some people like to eat this kind of food, and some people don't like to eat this kind of food. Should we make judgments because of I like it and you don't? Oh, you're no good now. You know, what kind of foolishness are we doing here when we are not practicing love, compassion, and mercy? Right? What kind of foolishness are we doing? So that is my take on hijab and burqa and beards. Leave it alone, man, when it comes to bringing it into the assembly of the people. Leave it the fuck alone. My grandfather said it the right way. Leave it alone. Why are you even discussing? Who gives a shit? That's not what saves you. That's not what gives you paradise. Only Isa Salam gets you paradise. Only what God did and worked with a virgin gets you paradise. Only a lamb offering of blood gets you paradise, which God did. And the reason God did it is because It's God's responsibility. God created all things. He even puts the spirit of struggle into all men and women. So if you have a hard struggle or this or that, it is God's doing. Therefore, only God can redeem that which he has created and set right that which he has done in the manner, not that he had did it badly, it's that he created us in a manner where our free will causes us to sin, which he knew ahead of time. That's why he had already, the great planner had already planned. He himself was going to enter into a vessel that he made. So Jesus is sinless. So the Ark of the Covenant in the beginning, it corrupts, it decays, right? It doesn't last forever. He needed something that he could reside in and become, that would save people from all the thing that he created anyway, whether it's jinn, demon, bad or good. He separated the light from the dark. It's all his. And he's the one that needed to correct that which he found not good. Like, it's like you make food and you accidentally burned it. And you're like, oh, I made my toast. My toast is burnt. I scrape it off. And I fix it. Because that is not how I intended it to be. It got out of hand. So now I got to figure out a way to fix it. Those things that we cannot fix, we throw it in the garbage. Or in Gehenna, which is basically it was a garbage place in Jerusalem full of fire. So hell fire, that's the kind of connotation. I get deeper into that so people understand the truth about it. So the whole ideology of God doing what God did, his work to save us, is based upon what he did, his creation, and he fixing his own creation. And how did he fix it? Well, if he gave us rules and guidelines that we couldn't follow, he knew we wouldn't be able to follow them. So he himself became that which was us, and the Spirit was in the living Ark, Yeshua, who followed the right way and followed all the commands of his Father, because they are one anyway. Remember, this is God's doing, God's work. God spoke Jesus. He knew what Jesus was. He knew he was going to dwell in Jesus. Jesus knew all of everything is one. And this is his work he's doing. Outside of that is shirk. In fact, outside of that is shirk. Point blank. Point blank. It doesn't benefit you to go to heaven in any other ritual or sacrifice that you do. Point blank. Cain and Abel stuff, point blank, doesn't save you. Only that which God does is what God is how God saves. Even this name, Emmanuel, through Jibril, means God saves. God is with us to save us. Understand? So, of the beard and of the hijab and all the discussion, leave it alone. Get out of here with that. No, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. All right? Flesh is meaningless to begin with. You're going to grow old and die. After you die, you're going to give a fuck about your beard and hijab? Come on, man. Let's grow up and get real here. Let's wake up. It's better for you to live a righteous, good life and do works that are good rather than the way that you're dressed or how you're presenting your outwardness of your body. It's what inside, inwardly, is where the kingdom of heaven is found. Why are you so dark and ugly and judgmental and hateful and full of anger and jealousy and all the other burning fires of jinn? Why are you filled like this with your temple? Your temple is you. You're your temple. What do you have in it? All this fire of foulness? Get rid of it. Bring in that which is the light. Cast the darkness out. Bring the light in. All right? So that's my take on it all. I hope you enjoyed. Shalom. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.